Hi, my name is Sherwin Lai. I'm class of 2020. I'm an interpretation captain and speech and debate at Bellarmine for the 2019-20 school year. Today, I'm excited to bring you a presentation about dramatic plot structure in Interp. So let's get started. So a dramatic plot structure looks something like this when we graph it out on paper. You might have seen something similar in your English class. So basically, there are a few plot elements to a plot structure. So first, start with the exposition, some kind of background um, on the characters, what their motivations are, on the setting, kind of just setting the groundwork for what's going on. We have the conflict that is usually established somewhere, I guess, 3 or 4 minutes into the speech. What's the main issue or tension that's going to turn into a bigger problem later that needs a resolution? Then we come to the rising action. This is where the tension or the drama or the energy level starts building up. Now you'll notice that this is a curve that's going up at a slope. So we're not just going to shoot up all the way. It's going to build up with increasing tension gradually as we see how the character develops or changes throughout these experiences. Then we hit the climax. This is the high point of your piece. It usually comes around 6 minutes and 15 seconds, give or take. This is the critical moment. In a DI, it might be where, I don't know, someone dies and you start screaming around, though I don't really recommend screaming for all purposes. This might be a big reveal to a character that changes the calculus for what's going to follow in a speech, right? It might be a big deal in that instance. And it's like the high point of your speech, so your energy level or your intensity will be at the top here, the critical moment. And then we gradually drop down through the falling action. Again, we don't want the energy level to just drop from 10 to 0. We want it to be gradual in a falling action. Finally, you have the denouement and the resolution, where the character probably has changed in some way, right? Or views the world differently, and what that kind of entails, and kind of bring the piece to a satisfying close. And may even, in some clever cuttings, refer back to elements in the exposition. So that's kind of the arc we have, from exposition to conflict to rising action and climax, down through the falling action, all the way to the denouement and resolution. Again, when we transition from sections, like especially with the rising action, climax, falling action, those transitions got to be smooth, no sudden jumps in energy intensity level. So your task is to create this kind of dramatic plot structure for your piece, right? Label all the 7 points. It's okay if you have more ups and downs. In fact, that's actually good. We like complexity. And it doesn't have to follow this exact shape, right? But you should have these 7 plot elements that you'd be able to find. Rate each point from 1 to 10 intensity. This is obviously subjective, so do what you think is appropriate and be able to defend those choices as well if someone asks. So have a reason. Describe each emotion with adjectives, and I want something more specific than happy, sad. Is the character frustrated, angry, confused, bewildered, upset? Like, these are, even though they're all negative emotions, they all convey different things, right? Similar for positive emotions, right? So I want something more nuanced than just happy, sad, positive, negative, right? What kind of emotions are the character or characters feeling during each stage, and how do we transition between those different emotions, which we'll discover later, right? This is an example of a plot structure someone did. They say teaser, exposition. Yeah, so I'm not going to go through this, kind of look at it. He also puts numbers for the intensity level and a variety of adjectives that you can see are pretty specific, are more than just happy and sad. Now, I really want to remind you that it is okay to have more than 7 plot points, or vary your contour a little bit. Maybe you have a mini climax near the beginning of your speech and then the bigger climax later, right? Or maybe climax comes earlier or later than normally in a speech, right? those are all fine. So it's really up to you. All right, that was about it for this video.